My mentor was a guy named Michael Brower. I was his first assistant, and I teach what I learned from him. Was a lot of my teaching here, and much of it was built around speed. It's like working fast, which codifies your knowledge. It also makes you attractive, and it makes it seem like you're working really hard, which you are. But it also enables you to control the pace of the session. If you learn to work slow and stay there's no way you're ever going to work fast and not make a ton of mistakes. If you learn how to work fast, we can work slow. You can also work really fast and be efficient, because it's always that last 10 minutes of the session where you kill yourself if you don't know how to work that quickly. So as a personal icon, Michael Brower taught me a lot. And then in terms of engineers that I like, I mean, there's just a whole raft of them. I've been very fortunate to be here at Berkeley and meet some of these people as they've come through over the years, and also gain appreciation. But I guess kind of chronologically, well, I can't go chronologically, but the ones that come to mind are Steve Hodge, Al Schmidt, Bob Claremountain, of course, Frank Filippetti, Elliot Shiner, Chuck Ainlay. I mean, these are names that we hear over and over again. There's a guy named Spike Stent out of England whose work I like, Hugh Padgham, and I'm leaving a bunch out. They have a great sense of balance. So it's where you go from there. So to be able to set up in a relatively shorthand, somebody who I didn't mention, a guy named Michael DeLug, who did Barry Manilow, and he works on the David Letterman show. I was always impressed with he could grab 10 faders and bring them up into balance. And being able to do that is a real challenge, is a real feat. And so I think that for somebody that can do that, you're one step away from raising the bar, as it were. We have a whole category of engineers who have never seen the other side of that, which is where do you go from there, now that you got the balance. And I think the audiences, they're not that critical. They're reacting to something emotionally. So there's a subtlety in there to me. What we're seeing now in the new breed of engineer, on the one hand, is good. On the other hand, it's a different aesthetic than the environment I learned in. And the environment I learned in was you learn how to make balances. You learn how to have good balances, and you go from there. So I think what we have now prevalently are balance engineers, is that we have people who can make pretty decent balances, but they're not particularly dynamic. And I think there are a multitude of reasons for that. It makes them easy to edit, but also it's a different kind of consciousness of what a mix is. And what I learned about mixing is that it's a fairly active process, active listening, and in some cases active movement. Depends on the style.